Hey guys, it's Corey here again. Uh, just thought I'd show you a new update I did to this program here. So last time we did this tool was able to like we ended up hitting a blockade on the API where I found out that I was making too many requests to the API in a minute, and I found out that Gemini looks like it shoots out I think up to 4 million tokens in one prompt. So we're going to try and test that theory right now. I haven't run this program since it's been updated. So we're going to just see if it works. And we're going to try and include like up to 10,000. I don't know how many functions were. But what we're going to do is we're going to say list all of the functions in that a user can do in Microsoft. Sorry, if my spelling's bad. Actually, the video recorder. What do you call that? There, the piece there is blocking the search, so I don't know if you're going to see that or not when I'm done this. In Microsoft Outlook. So what did we say there? We said list all the user functions in Microsoft Outlook. Sorry there, I can't even read that because I had to copy this over here. Just bear with me for a second here. List all the functions that a user can do in Microsoft Outlook. For example, send an email. Open Outlook. Insert email for sender. Insert email for receiver. What else do we want to say here? Set schedule for sending email. Add detail to calendar. Functions to calendar. Functions to calendar. Add content to email. What else can we add there? Click send email. So these are just some of the things there. I just wanted to get really specific so that this thing can really think. And we're going to see if we can get up to 10,000 different ideas. So I'm going to say, okay, we've got Gemini 2.0 Flash, and I want to use the Flash experience because this has got the 4 million output. So I'm going to test it on this API at this time right now there. So basically, I don't know how many tokens will reach 4 million on a 10,000. So basically, we are listing just functions. So, and these are functions for, let's call it for AI2 calling. Actually, there, I almost forgot. So I'm going to copy that over here for a second here. Just bear with me here because I can't see what's written up there because of the fact that it's small for one thing, and the other thing is my video recorder has a time display sitting over top. I don't think you guys are going to see that, but I can't see on behind it. So list all the functions that a user can do in Microsoft Outlook. For example, send an email that a user can do, and that because okay, list all the functions that for tool calling in Microsoft Outlook. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it list all the functions for tool calling in Microsoft Outlook. For example, send an email, open Outlook, insert email for sender, insert email for receiver, set schedule for sending email, add functions to calendar, add content to email, click send email, add a signature to the email, insert, add attachments to email, download email as .msg file, etc. Okay, so I think I got a good enough amount here. So I'm going to go back to this, overwrite it, 10,000, and we are going to list functions, generate variations, and then we're going to also list it in a CSV file. Okay, so you guys ready to see this in action? And I think you probably want to see what's going on behind the scenes, so I'll let the command prompt display down here for you so you guys can see at the bottom. Okay, let's start. So we're at 546. Let's see how she behaves. Estimated around 10,000 functions. Starting generation. Okay. Oh my god. Look at that. Wait. I don't like it at all. So the scope was not there at all. But let's see how far it goes in terms of getting to 10,000. Okay, and I'm gonna do something different here. Actually, I'll tell you the truth here. Let's just see. I'm guessing my okay. So I'm using. Oh no, we're good. Getting the subject. It's actually did a really good job. I bet you there's less than 1,000. So once we start seeing something that doesn't seem okay, so we're starting to see stuff here. Reduce costs, free up resources, okay. Automate repetitive tasks, enhance productivity, recover data, backup data, restores, okay. Grant access. This is like not one, be a leader. So I'm in digital age. So I think right around here it starts hallucinating. Or yeah, I guess it's because we're still forcing it to talk. So you know what I should have done is I should have prompted ChatGPT. So let's see here. How many different functions does can a user do with Outlook approximately? Let's see. See, I'm assuming that it would be able to do thousands, but you never know. The one difference is, look at this, okay? So we're at the 6,500, and we timed out in, I don't know, 10 seconds flat. Now I increased the amount of output to 4 million tokens because of the fact that I'm using this particular model, and it has just like it hasn't even stopped. So we have really maximized the output here, and I'm actually kind of curious. I'm not even 100% sure how many times it's had to call the API, but I think it's had to call it a few times because I think it's spitting out almost 3,000 words a prompt here. You can kind of tell here, like right now it's stopped, so it's 8,172. So it still hasn't got there yet. And let's go back here. Ignore next email. So it's got some stuff still in there. And then we gotta also we're gonna get rid of duplications after all of this. Compatibility mode. So there is a lot there that this script is grabbing that could be relevant, which is kind of interesting actually. There might be. Let's see how many different ways we can. Very rich feature application. Challenging because it depends on how finely you break down the features and how you define functions. In broad terms, Outlook isn't just an email client, it's a comprehensive personal information manager. Here's a breakdown. Okay. Scheduling, contacts and people, tasks and to-do lists, notes and journals, customization and integration, additional features. So, how to estimate the number? Where's the number? At a high level, Outlook supports 10 major functional areas. At a granular, if you enumerate every command, setting rule shortcut, hundreds of distinct functions. Likely looking at hundreds of distinct functions. Okay, so anyways, I think I've already shown here that you're looking at maybe 1,000 different functions. If you're inserting picture, insert hyperlink, check spelling, check grammar. So these are other functions that you definitely can do. One function I don't think you can do is that. It's a pain in the butt, actually, to tell you the truth, because it doesn't have that stupid justify text button, but it has everything else, which I actually had an issue with that today. Actually, it was kind of funny. Zoom in, zoom out. I don't know. Actually, tell you the truth. Add account, it's there. Remove account. Change account settings. So there is a lot you can do here. Junk email options. It is trying its best not to hallucinate. So I think maybe what's happening is the longer this goes, the more it hallucinates. Oh, and we went over. Shoot. Okay, so what's going on here now is that we're at 137%, and we're saying 99% over here, so I've got to figure that out after. But it doesn't matter actually there. You know why? I think this might be happening because of duplication. So what I think, I haven't processed this yet, but what is going on here is that it's probably checking for a duplicate line here, and then let's see if it actually puts out 10,000 or not. It might be not, but that's my hope. Is that that's the problem here? Is that it just needs to remove the duplicates. So there might be 5,000 duplicates. It's just trying to hit that last 1% that's not duplicated. Because the way I prompted it and built the script was, I said, hey, you know what? Because it's one prompt, one big one, maximize the prompt as big as you can, and then remove any duplicates and so on. So it's getting up there. Actually, it's getting too high for my liking. But we'll see here. I'm surprised actually they were at 16,500 right now of data output from the AI model, and it's quite fascinating actually to see we haven't hit an API limit with Google yet. Okay, I'm gonna write up a question here based on that. Okay, does the script account for, or no, what should we ask there just to get it to work? Say, the progress bar is showing more than 100% complete. What would be the, oh no, what does it say there? Does it say 100%? Yeah, the progress bar is showing more than 100% complete. What would be the reason for this? And does the script automatically save the file even if it is interrupted? More than 100% what is needed for the results. What would be the reason for this? And does the script automatically save the file even if it is interrupted? Okay, and I know it's still working there, which is weird. The issue where the progress bar shows more than 100% likely stems from how the progress was calculated in the generation worker class. Specifically, the progress percentage is based on the number of raw items collected and compared to self-estimated total. Since the script collects all items, including potential duplicates, during generation and only duplicates at the end, self-results list can grow larger than the target count, or even self-estimated total, causing the percentage to exceed 100%. This is especially true. Okay, so what we did is we didn't account for the results, and the progress bar was not updated when we did this update. So the other question was to ensure results are saved automatically, even if we should call save intermediate results when worker stops, whether by user action or error. Okay. So do we got a full script? No. Can you provide full script? Okay, now let's look here. So I think we're gonna stop it here. That's crazy, eh? That stopping generation. Okay, let's see here if that works. Found 1200. Look at that. So it tells you how many were unique. So we had more than 12,580 results. Yeah, and look at this. We can export them. Boom. And let's list them. Okay, let's go there now. Bear with me here. Oh. And results. It's late at night. Like normal for me. I think that's it right there. List all functions. Boom. How many are in here? Count is 23,000. So let's see here. Is there a duplicate? So we can do conditional formatting. Highlight duplicate values, fill them in red. Oh yeah, look at that, eh? Shoot. Okay, so removing them, now it didn't remove them, which is what it should have done. So that's good to know that it didn't. So I can, it's supposed to. So we're gonna go to data, and then we're gonna remove duplicates, and call my 10,860 duplicate values found, and remove 12,580 unique values are left. That's right. That's what it was. 12,580. So you have 12,580. So it just did not do the duplicate removal feature, which is what it's supposed to do. So you can go back here and supposed to do this. Can you try to add to the script function to remove the duplicate values out of the exported file after the data has been put into a provide full script. So a lot of people, I think, when you're playing around with this stuff, there they give up. They give up at errors or problems like that. So, you just got to be patient. Sometimes you got to retry, and a paid version always outperforms a non-paid version. So that is one other thing to consider here. So we are going to do a smaller amount, and we'll do it on stuff like Microsoft Excel for next one, okay? So what I'll do is I'll update the prompt, and I'll just go back and let's go to ChatGPT and say, hey, update a prompt like this for me. Update a prompt like this for me that works with Microsoft Excel. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's fine. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Okay. Copy that. Okay, so we're going to try that prompt after this update. Actually, I gotta wait. Okay, let's see if this is done. Oh, try again. So at nighttime, for some reason, I think what's going on, if this is my speculation, is that the AI models are not responding as fast. I noticed this for a while now, that the daytime is better, and I believe the reason why is one of two factors here. Either at nighttime they found out it's slower than daytime, which is, in my opinion, the truth. So what they're doing is probably training models at nighttime. So their server actually works overtime at nighttime. That's my guess. And that they had them work less during the day because they know that they can't handle the demand during the day if they were to train these models and so on all day long. So yeah, so like we're trying to max out the tokens here, and you can see ChatGPT, all of those guys in there. So you kind of see all the code almost in a way there. I'm kind of giving it away for you. That's technically not all the code, but see if she finishes this time. There, I don't know. It's hard to say. But there is no other AI out there like Grok right now, or because this is spitting out 800 lines of code, and Cloud AI is doing similar, but it's not as good as Grok, because Grok doesn't really have a limitation on. I never really hit a cap on my daily cap, but you hit daily caps all the time on Claude. So I'm not very impressed with Claude, and I'm very impressed. There he goes. We got it to work this time. So let's try her. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this. So this is going to be a little different this time. Oh no, this is not. AI Cache Developer. Oh yeah, that's right. The other one's the tool caller right here that I did for Outlook. So let's try this again. So here he goes. The APIs are all initializing. Tested successfully. So you can see again that I did an API integration. I even integrated Outlook or Llama, which is the local models, and Grok. So they're all in there. But Gemini is free, so let's test that one. Actually, you want to keep it like this, and we're going to test it not on Microsoft Outlook now. We're going to do this test from ChatGPT's response here. Paste it in there, and we're going to do, how many you want to do again? Let's do, I don't know, 10,000 again, just to see. List functions, and text file. We don't want a text file, we want a CSV file. Is Gemini gonna like me and Google gonna like me, or am I gonna hit a data cap? Okay, there it goes. 158, boom. 306, boom. So if this stops midway through, we still get the data because we built in a function to handle stopping and errors and stuff like that too as well to save it. We're still going. Those look like commands and functions that you would use in Outlook. This is really fascinating because now you can build based on this. You can probably build your own applications because all I'm doing now is I'm just writing out all the functions of the application. So now what you can do is you can build a major AI application based on this. List out all the functions. How is it gonna work? So you can probably build a master program based on just getting the functions listed. And so what I've kind of demoed here, and you kind of got the code out of it too as well, is a program that, you know, it's right here on the edge of building your top of the line programs out there, because you are now able to see all the functions you need in your Excel program that you want to build right here. We got them listing, and so what we're going to need to do is refine. See, this is where it gets a little bit off. It hallucinates here. So we have to refine with, I think, an agentic framework of some kind here that can kind of do a secondary check of these inputs. User account, firewall setting. I don't even know if that's possible or not, but date and time I know. Region settings probably is true. Keyboard settings, hard to say. Open mouse settings, printer settings, I don't know. But this is definitely a function of operating system, that's for sure. There are Excel tables, so this is a possibility too. Which makes me wonder if Microsoft Word is more technical than Excel in that sense, because it's got to handle tables as well. So it's kind of neat how you were able to see all this. So what else you could do actually there is you could also use this flawed list, because it's got such a major list of functions. You can create a prompt for building the Excel program with all these tools in it and all these functions in it, and have it assess one by one, is this a function of the program or not, based on this list right here. And what it should do is it should, and I already know how to build these programs, so I can kind of prompt them already there. It's just we're right on the edge of doing it all. But it would basically be, okay, you got the list of functions for the program. Now integrate and debug one at a time, and do not move to the next function until you get the first function on there working. And you just go back and forth, back and forth. You know, this would be a game changer in software developing. this would end Microsoft essentially. Basically, um, I think it would end uh, Microsoft Office and probably the operating system itself. If you could build overnight an operating system like this, and then that way there's, you can even go through the backdoor stuff, and this thing would probably go wild. So I think that this is the future right here, guys, that we're seeing right before us. I mean, I can't write all the functions that, and I've never seen a prompt, but basically this is like a prompt, but it's like instructions, and you are getting a list of functions of the program, and you need to verify that this function is working in the program. Verify the next one. So it's going to be a pretty interesting application, this one right here, to work with for the future, because obviously, nobody's getting uh, 6,700 rows pretty much for one output like I am. It's or I shouldn't say that there. I'm just saying like that for this program here, it's not very many people are getting it, I should say. So it's kind of cool right now. I'm quite excited. Arrange windows. But yeah, this is got to be on the leading edge of AI stuff and ideas right now that are out there. Because now you could almost utilize some of these tools and cross them and integrate them. You could have like a monster program rather than have like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint all separated. You could just modify and put them all into one, almost in a way. That would, and make it simple. Like make it super simple as well. There you tell it, okay, how do you modify it to make it simpler? Make it simpler, and make it smaller and more compact, and then simplify, simplify, simplify. And that's kind of the idea, I think. User experience has got to be really friendly. Oh yeah, look at that. Gemini API. I never hit a maximum for the for hitting the maximum use of the API, which is pretty impressive. So there you go, guys. I updated the program from the last video. You can see now that we are at 33 minutes actually in this video already. Holy crap. And I did two processes. I showed you one where I just updated the program, hadn't even ran it, and now we're doing a second one, and I'm going to finish this once it's completed here at 100%. So my hope is that it's going to work at 100%, and if it don't, we're still finishing it regardless, because I think people will be very bored. But it's going to also, remember this at the end, it's going to should also remove the duplicates this time, because it didn't remove them out of the file. So we will check the file after everything is done and see. Hide mouse. So it's almost like as if it's listing off anything you can do in your operating system. Step into VBA. So, yeah, you can add that VBA there is Visual Basic, and you can basically connect to the back end of these applications using VBA files. That's how I started out actually with Outlook. Actually, was to use VBA scripts to connect to Outlook. And then that would, that was how I was able to download files and stuff like that. Like for example, if you want to download emails out of Outlook, you can utilize a VBA script, or I eventually found out Python already did it, so I was like, oh, okay, why am I using VBA? Python makes more sense. I'm still learning a little bit about it because um, there's some challenges as well that go with interacting with Outlook directly, and I'm still probably going to be at it for a few months now before we can actually solve all the problems here. But it's getting there. I mean, like, this is probably the first step to like really hammering out some serious programs that are going to come here in the next little while. Um, just based on the fact that I can list out all the functions, and I can condense this. Could not save results to CSV. Why not? Is it because? No, couldn't be this. Because why could it not? So what happened here? Let's go back here. Okay, well, let's figure this out here. So tell me that worked. You know what I can do? As long as it doesn't shut down, I can go like this. Because I'm not good. Thank God. So, regardless, I'll just call it results. Ah, thank God. Okay, so here we go, guys. So for now, I'm gonna go back. Oh, you know what? Look at this. Okay, so we're still able to do it. Weird. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. 609. File name is not a valid name. Oh, it's got a comma, or no, not a comma, a quote to it. Why did it have a quote? Is that the reason why? Oh. Oh, okay. So that was the reason why. You could see it right there. So there may be in the script here somewhere, but it hit just over 10,000. So it hit 100,000 results pretty much. But I think the reason why it hit 10,019 is because that's where the model stopped. It doesn't do a good job at counting. So, and especially on your outputs there, it's not great. And when you do multiple prompts, it's not great for that either. So let's review. Okay, here, 10,020. So that's the exact same amount. We don't need to use this one anymore. And where are we going here? Right here. 226, and it is 227. Okay, so let's see. $10,019. Okay, let's go to checkout. Whoops. Home. Conditional formatting. Highlight. Let's highlight duplicate cells. Did it work? Looks like it worked. So there's no duplicates. We got 10,000 results with no duplicates. All right. So there you go, guys. I got the thing to count the duplicates this time. Last time it didn't count. Went way over to 19,000. I had to stop it. This time it hit to 10,000. And you kind of seen just now why it went over the 10,000 is because it's not able to count very well. It's not perfect. It's close, but it's not perfect at counting, especially in long prompts and re-prompting over and over again. It's doing a guess, and it's doing a guess, generally speaking, on large prompts, right? If it's smaller stuff or whatever, there it'll do, won't do as good of a job. Well, it'll do a better job, I mean. But the reason AI is doing the counting is because it's counting. It's the reason is because of the fact that each word has so many tokens in it, and it's trying to decipher based on the token output how many words it output, and sometimes it's getting the amount of words it counted based on the tokens wrong, and so that's why the count is not 100%. but it's close, you know. So that's how that works. You know, we could use other features, automations, and different counting functions and tools to make the exact count, and they'll be more accurate than the AI. But that's how the AI works. Is it counts the tokens, which are basically pieces of a word or so. Like you might get up to 3 letters of a word, and that's considered a token, and so on. So it won't be the whole word; it'll just be partial. And I think that's just for optimizing the way the output is coming. But they're talking about outputting whole sentences now rather than just do tokens and so on there. And that might optimize and speed things up, but at the same time it's hard to say. I don't know all the math and the calculations on it, but I can imagine it. I get a little bit of an idea. But there you go. So we're at 40 minutes right now, 41 minutes. And you saw the program work and do its job. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll throw this like, share, subscribe. If you have any ideas or comments, throw them down, and I'll see what I can do. But for now, whatever there, I'm just continually trying to upgrade, update, and make new programs. And like I said, this gives you a general idea of how to build out massive programs and so on, just by getting these functions listed for each major program that you're trying to build. And then you can just build an AI to go one by one and debug, one by one debug, one by one debug, until it gets it all out functioning. And that will be that'll be the ultimate tool eventually here that's coming. All right, well, take care, guys. Talk to you later.